Hello and welcome back to the Honest Business Podcast. I hope you are very, very well. Today, I think this is a good episode. I think it's an exciting episode. There's some real practical things you can do. I want you to get a notebook out. I want you to sit down and actually treat this as if me and you are on a one-on-one call and we are going through things that you can do. So, what I'm talking about today is things you can do in Q4, which is October, November, December of 2023, or a different year if you're listening to this in the future, which is very exciting, to set you up for success in 2024 / whatever year you're listening to this. So what can you do now? We're just about to enter Q4, just about to enter into the wildness that is the festive season, should you choose to get involved with that. What can you do now that will set you up for success in 2024? Well, I have got 13 things. This could have been a long list, but I was like, no, 13 is more than enough. Probably should maybe have less than this, but let's just kind of, some are bigger tasks than others. So I first off want you to think about what is and isn't working. You've got to work that out. And actually, that takes a bit of time. That's not something that comes straight away. So the reason I'm saying it now is to give you some time to think, work out what isn't working. What do you want to change? That's really key. The second point is work out what your biggest fears are about your business. This seems a bit rogue. Things to look at, consider, ponder on, question yourself. What are your biggest fears about your business? What do you believe to be true about your business? Like, write down fears and beliefs. What do you fear about? What things do you worry about that can happen in your business? And then what do you believe to be true about business, about yourself, about success, about the team, about your goals? Get that listed down. The third task for you to do is to get your availability mapped out and clear for next year. Like, what is your availability? What can people buy? How much is it? Are you changing the price of things? Are you increasing the price on things? Like, what's the situation? Get your availability mapped out and clear. Next thing, number 4, which is similar, is understand what you are selling. A lot of people get to January and think, I have absolutely no clue as to what we're actually selling this year. Like, I don't want that to be the case. In my opinion, it's kind of unacceptable. Like, you need to understand what is it that you're selling. And to follow from that is actually start selling it. People think, oh, I've got to wait until January before I sell this. I'm like, no, start selling it. If you've got something that kicks off in January, sell it in November. If you've got something that, is starting in March, think about, okay, well, do I need to get the marketing organised now so that I can have a Christmas break and then sort of chill out? Think about what are you going to do to sell these things? Number 5 is audit. I want you to audit what you've got going on. So what is where's the business at right now? You need a kind of pulse point of where it is right now. Like, what does it feel like? What do you love? What feels old? What feels a bit like, I don't really feel a bit dated? And get a really clear picture on where you're at right now. And for some of you, that's not necessarily going to be where you end the year on. Between now and the end of the year, you can transform your business. Things can change. There's so much can happen. Like, there's a lot of things that can go on. But it's important for you to understand where you're actually at right now, because for many people, they don't, and they're sort of like, I don't really know. And they're like, I feel in a funny position. So think about what have you got going on and get clear on that. Number 6, I want you to get clear on what time do you realistically have in 2024. Is 24 the year that you are going to actually decide that you're going to take the time off that you've always wanted to do, or build more of a dream schedule? Like, think about what time do you actually have available to you for work, for home, for all of your other commitments that you have in your life. What time do you have? And what time do you want to spend doing X, Y, and Z thing? Number 7 is linked to this. So number 7 is about understanding what do you want 2024 to look like day to day. And I want you to spend time thinking about this, because I want you to really picture yourself in each season of the year. So I want you to think about, right, at the start of the year, how do you want to feel? What does your, Monday to Friday look like? Or Monday to Sunday, but for some people it's helpful to look at Monday to Friday. Like, what does that look like in January? What does it look like in August? Have you gotten through the summer and thought, you know what, I don't want to do it the way I've done it this time. I want to change. Next year, I want to take a month off. Next year, I want to chill out. Next year, I want to work maybe. Maybe you've taken time off and actually you're like, it doesn't really work for me. I actually want to work in August because it makes sense. Like, think about, what do you want your day-to-day to look like? Because a lot of people see these dream lives and schedules and businesses that I've built, that my clients have built, that other people have built, and they think, oh, that's really unrealistic, oh, I can't do it. And my answer is almost, and nearly always, that it takes time and it takes real intention to build that. And so what I'm suggesting today for you to do is to think about, right, if you know you want to take next Christmas, say, like, let's just say in December, you want to take some time off, then that needs to make sure that it's fed into your strategy for 2024, because that's how you're actually going to make it happen. I have all of my time off for 2024 scheduled in August of 2023, if that makes sense. Like, I am kind of always looking ahead because we have to, because otherwise, you know, I'm always planning the business and what we're delivering to clients, and people want to book in advance. Well, they can only book X, Y, and Z thing in advance if I know what I'm doing. Certain things need to be written into contracts, certain things need to be made clear. So I think it's important for you to really start thinking longer term and thinking about, what do you want your day-to-day to look like, because that is going to inform your strategy and your planning for 2024. Number 8, if you can, which I'm saying yes you can do this, I'd like for you to speak to your customers, speak to your clients. I want you to find out how they're finding working with you, what insights have they got, what feedback can they give you. Like, just get a pulse point of your customers. Often we're using customer data from, you know, that's dated, that is too long. It's not current, it's not in the moment. And it's important for us to really understand, like, how are people finding this experience? Like, are they enjoying it? What does it look like? And so get really clear on that and think, yeah, what task can I do? Are you going to send out questionnaires? Is it a casual voice note? Are you actually going to do a whole client, whole business send out and be like, hey, you know, please, can you give me some feedback? Are you going to host little mini interviews? Are you going to give them something in return? Like, have a think about what feels good for you to do. But it would be really great to get some data from your customers. Now, the reason some of these tasks I'm getting you to do is because they not only benefit you in 2024 and help with your plan and strategy, but for a lot of you, you will have launches, selling, things going on in Q4, that some of the answers to this and some of the outputs from these things that I'm asking you to do will benefit that, i.e., getting some more customer information, having testimonials, screenshots, all the rest of it is really helpful for you going forward. Number 9 is a task that I really want you to think about because it's really important. Number 9 is, where can you implement, can't speak today, AI, artificial intelligence, into your business in 2024? Where can you implement AI either further into your business or into your business full stop? 2023 has been a year where AI has been there. Yeah, ChatGPT launched last year, so that was in 2022. This year has been a thing for people to get on board, to not get on board, to have issues with, to struggle with, to love, to, you know, it's been an exploration year. I think people are really trying to, like, think about, oh, this, that, and the other. However, if you have opted for the idea that I'm not going to get involved because it's not something I'm interested in, you are really setting yourself up for failure longer term, because sadly, AI isn't going anywhere. And can I just say, I totally resonate with the issues that AI posed to us, right? As a humanity, as the world, I really do. There's some really amazing people doing some really key work around how wrong this can go and how badly it can go. And I resonate with it. However, I think it's a very tricky space to navigate if you're not going to opt into using it at all, because I do think you're going to get left behind. And that is morally quite jarring, I think. And I think a lot of us are kind of at that point. However, I'm not convinced the solution is to be like, right, well, I'm just going to boycott that and not get involved with AI at all, because I don't think it really works. I think we're going to have to find a way of that coexisting in the world that we live in. And so for your business specifically, I really would recommend that you work out where are you using it, how are you using it, what does that look like? You don't want to be left behind because you weren't an early adopter, or you weren't an adopter full stop because you wouldn't get involved. Obviously, if you definitely don't want to use it, then up to you. But I'm just saying, I think it's very smart and would not be fair of me not to mention for you to think about how are you going to implement it. Now, the other thing to think about with this is the technology is constantly evolving. New products are launched onto the market every single day with AI built into them. Therefore, what you then decided to use 6 months ago may not be fitting what you're trying to do right now. And actually, there may be completely different products available that would be useful. When I say products, by the way, I mean like software and plugins and different things that you can use that are more suited to what you needed to. So don't think, right, well, we're using this and that's just got to be the best thing ever. Like, there might be a competitor that is a better option, but start planning now how you're going to implement the AI. I'm not saying to you that you have to start using it today. I'm just saying start thinking about it in Q4 so that in 2024, you understand where it's going to fit into your business. You're going to trial it in January. You're going to trial it in, I don't know, August maybe. Like, think about where does it fit in your strategy? Where does it fit in your business? Number 10. This is an interesting one, okay? It's a question I want you to think about and write down. Who do you need to get to know to make your 2024 goals easier to achieve? Relationship building takes a lot longer than people like to believe. And so sometimes people will say to me in January, right, I'm going to make all these connections and that's going to help me achieve my business goals in February and March. And I sit there and look at them and I'm like, huh? What? Relationship building takes time. Whether that's online, in person, a mixture of both, it takes time. Start now. Start in Q4. Because then you've got 3 months to build a relationship to whatever you want that outcome to be. You know, friendship, business connection, help, hopefully, you know, multiple of the three that you can help one another. But think about who knows something or who's connected to people or who do you need to tap into? Who do you need to get to know in order to make your 2024 goals possible and achievable? And then start working backwards and start actually doing so now, because we're entering a time where people want everything instantly, but friendship and connection and pure, true, quality relationship building isn't going to happen from you just randomly popping up once and that being that. And I think that people don't pay enough attention to that, and they kind of forget that the runway that has in their business. I feel like we're getting through these very quick, which is fabulous. I feel like we're moving at pace, and hopefully we can have a short episode. I don't know if you like short episodes, but I don't know. Be interesting to see. Does this get many listens? Who knows? We tend to have similar lengths of podcasts, don't we? But I know some people podcast episodes are like 3 minutes long or 5 minutes long or 10 minutes long. So I'm intrigued to see how long this is and also whether or not you like it, this kind of format. Number 11 is an important one. I want you to think about what team changes need to happen. Do you need to add anyone into the mix? Have a think about that. What team changes need to happen? I say this because if you need someone to help you actually make sure that you're going to hit your 2024 goals, hiring them in January, I would argue, is not the time. I would say, why don't you start now? Start looking for people, start crafting your advert, start understanding what your job spec is. Like, what is it? What are they actually doing? That will make sure that you're not panic hiring people. It will make sure that you're making decisions that are based on actual quality information versus you just sort of like going for it and seeing what happens. Think about what team changes. What needs to happen inside of the existing team? What isn't working? What are you looking at and thinking, oh, that's a sticking point. Oh, that doesn't work. That's not really making me feel very good. Identify what those are now so that you have time to build them into your plan, your strategy, your schedule in terms of how are you going to attack those? What are you going to do? How are you going to support the business through that issue, problem, change? Got 2 more left. And I hope that you're all writing these down, and I hope that you're actually thinking, yeah, do you know what? I'm doing this and it's really helping me going to get ahead here. Number 12 is update your website. A task that so many of us put off. So many people are like, oh no, they're still traumatized off the first time that you've built the website or the most recent website redo, and it's like, no, I don't want to do it. Update your website. just look at your messaging, tweak it, change it. I'm not saying like rehash it. I'm not saying rebrand. I'm not saying be extreme. I'm just saying go on your website, go through all your pages, read it. Make notes of what doesn't feel right. Make notes of what isn't good. And then either you implement it or someone else on your team, or if you have a kind of a website support system, then make some changes. Update your website so that when it comes to 2024, that isn't sitting on your list of like, I'm really embarrassed by my website, so I don't want to direct people there, because that's a conversation I have with a lot of people and people get really wrapped up in it. Don't be one of those people. Number 13. Decide where you want to be visible next year. This is a really important piece and something that I think people don't think about a whole lot, and they kind of just let random things direct it and dictate this. But where do you want to be visible next year? What groups of people do you want to mingle with? Where do you want your name to be kind of seen, spoken about, heard, shared? Like, where do you want to be? Positioning is so important for your business. Again, I argue that isn't a short-term thing. Having some intention behind it really helps. Having some clarity around it really helps. Have a think about, okay, yeah, if I want to move the business to this place, I'm going to shift the message in here. So where's that going to start now? What does that mean for me right now? What does that mean for this 3-month runway that I have between now and the start of the year, that I can actually make some moves and some changes and some inquiries into, that's going to make January feel a lot smoother and a lot easier for me to just bed into? That is my final request for you. It's my final offering to you. It's my final invitation to be like, where do you want to be visible next year? I hope that you found this interesting, thought-provoking, has got you thinking, has got you sort of the juices flowing about 2024. If it has, I do have another invitation for you. And I have an invitation for you to join the waitlist of either Year of Clarity or Maze Accelerator, which some of you will know and some of you won't know and some of you will be inside of. Those are 2 programs that I run every single year. Year of Clarity is a 12-month program. Maze Accelerator is a 6-month program. And they're at different price points and they have different levels of accountability, but they are both created to help you to grow your business, to make 2024 incredible, and to really set it up for success. The links are below. You can join the waitlist. Enrollment opens in November for both of those programs, and it is accessible, okay? So if you're listening to this, you can come and work with me in a program. Year of Clarity is the most accessible, and I also have a policy where everyone can access that in some way. Then we've also got Maze Accelerator, which is a more advanced program and is a more hands-on program, but is still a lower cost and an accessible price point compared to working with me in my private practice. And so those 2 you can join. You can join the waitlist for. Some people are in both, which is very exciting. I can't give you much more details because it's currently, we haven't gotten to launch mode yet. So I feel like I was going to share with you lots of exciting things, but I suppose I best not because that doesn't align what I'm supposed to be doing. But I've just wanted to put it in there because I know sometimes when people listen to these episodes, they're like, right, what's next? How do I go from this? Like, how do I get more May? How do I get more of May's wisdom, knowledge, and incredibleness into my business? And so I have a solution for you today. Join the waitlist to be the Year of Clarity, which is a strategic planning program where you see me every month and you sort of integrate a system that is proven, has been tried, it's tested, it works across industries, across sectors, into your business for a low cost every month. Or you can join or Maze Accelerator, which is my accelerator. It is led by me. I deliver it. You come and see me 3 times a month on a call. It's a group setting. It is a small group. And we have lots of fun. And you can work really directly with me. You get access to talk to me every day should you need to, 4 days a week. In Slack, there is a lot of support available for you. Those are 2 options. Sign up for them via the waitlist below. And I will speak to you next week in the next episode. But let's do some work between now and then on Q4 and setting yourself up for success in 2024. It's going to be a good year. Take care. Bye.